So in today's video, we're going to be discussing the modern day Minuteman, what defines them, and from where they originate. If you guys do go on to enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. And let's get into the video. So to start off, I'm going to cover where they originate. The Minutemen came from the American Revolutionary War. So the Minutemen were regular militia members that were a little bit more specialized and more skilled than the average militia member. They were very well trained in weapons, tactics, and current military doctrine. They had a lot more knowledge when it comes to how to operate in the field, and they were a lot more mobile, had more access to do things in a more expedient manner than your average militia member, okay? They gained the name Minutemen because they were set with the specific task of being ready within a minute's notice to take up arms and be ready to go operate on missions, hence them being known as the special forces of that day's militia. If you guys have ever heard of Minutemen and seen people using that term to describe tactical gear, training, patrols, bounding, all of that modern warfare skills and equipment, that was what the Minutemen did back then and what they specialized in. They were the special forces of the Revolution's militia. My personal belief, I believe the modern day Minutemen will be given the same responsibilities, set with tasks to be ready within a minute's notice to be able to operate and take up missions and support their community within a minute's notice, right? Being a Minuteman essentially gives you the responsibility of being a quick response team. Most of the Minutemen are going to be young fighting age males who can be very mobile, who are very fit, could cover distance with a lot of modern gear and equipment that weighs much more than whatever the soldiers or militia members had to carry back in that day. They didn't have to have as much sustainment in gear to support whatever gear they're bringing to the field, right? So being a modern day Minuteman takes a lot more strength and endurance when it comes to carrying your gear in the field and being able to sustain yourself and being fit and ready to fight enough, essentially. If you're considering yourself to be a Minuteman, a militia member, or somebody from the community that's a patriot, make sure you guys are working on your physical fitness. Your current physical health is very important when it comes to preparedness, prepping, or anything involving that, or even just daily life. Make sure you're fit. If you can lose some weight or try to make your diet habits a little bit better, eat healthier, I strongly advise you to do so. You'll just notice nothing but a better change in quality of life for you. So I really recommend it. You'll be proud at the results and you'll be happy with yourself, and you'll be more of an asset rather than a liability to yourself, your community, and your family. So it's only a win-win. There's no lose to getting fit, getting into shape, and trying to gear yourself into being a more healthy individual. So it's just something I would highly consider. But speaking of being fit, the reason I mention it so much, talking back to being a modern day Minuteman, carrying the gear, being a young fighting age male, and being able to do the things, here's a clear example of the kind of gear that modern Minutemen are going to be carrying. And as you guys can see on these layouts right here, this is not a light amount of gear. You're not just carrying a light fucking CQB rifle, only 25 pounds on your pack. Like, you're most likely going to be carrying 60 to 70 pounds worth of gear on average. That may be a light day when you're fully loaded out with a full loadout to sustain yourself and you and your guys in the field for however long that mission or field training activity may be, right? So make sure you guys could carry all this gear that I just showed on these slideshows from these pictures. If you're not able to carry that amount of gear on your back and go 6 to 8 miles within the flip of a dime, you're not ready. You need to get a lot more conditioned and build up your endurance right away. Another thing I want to touch on, even though the gear and equipment has really changed within modern day Minutemen, given the change of equipment, we have a lot heavier equipment nowadays. They didn't wear armor. They didn't have plates. They didn't have magazines. They didn't have a lot of things that we would be carrying in today's battlefield, essentially. Like, if you look at the modern day warfighter, they're going to have a lot more equipment, a lot more things weighing them down than the National Guard or militia members of 1776. So you guys really need to calculate how capable you are and where is your place in the militia or in your community. If you consider yourself a Minuteman, you need to be very serious on your physical fitness, okay? Long story short, even though the gear we use and equipment of the modern day Minuteman has changed, the mindset of the modern day Minuteman is still remaining the same, and being able to carry out that mission, doing those things, carrying that weight, being able to follow orders and not let your ego, your pride get in the way, you know? It's very important to have a good head on your shoulders and not just be an ignorant individual who's not willing to listen to someone because they're close in your age bracket, or they may not be the person that you envision as a leader. Whatever it may be, sometimes you just have to be somebody that's looking at things out of a bigger picture than just you and what benefits you as a person, as an individual. Sometimes it's for the community, it's for the group, it's for the better of society. So you guys really need to have a proper head on your shoulders mentally and be physically fit. Essentially being a Minuteman encompasses being a good individual and being a young fighting age male with a proper head on your shoulders to make good thought process decisions, okay? You guys really need to consider that. That's of a lot of importance when it comes to this subject, because you could be a fighting age male or capable, in shape, being able to carry all this weight, but if you're just a shithead and nobody likes you and you can't get along with anybody in the group and you're likely to cause havoc and disruption, then nobody even needs you part of being a militia or a community. You're just somebody who's going to cause havoc and disruption and chaos, and you're essentially probably going to be one of those lone wolf people or somebody that just doesn't know how to operate within any cohesion. That's essentially the video covering what it takes to be a modern day Minuteman, who they are and who they were, and what it's gonna take for you to become a modern day Minuteman and build yourself into that person in today's day and age. One thing I want to touch on before we wrap up this video is make sure you guys are remembering to analyze your strengths and weaknesses and allowing your brothers and sisters to be able to criticize you in a respectful manner without it taking a hit to your ego or pride and you taking it as something as straight judgment of your character rather than a way of your people trying to help you improve, okay? I see a lot of guys not being able to have clear communication because they're afraid of someone's backlash or how someone is going to react, and that's just not good cohesion and cooperation as a group. That's not working as a unit. You guys need to be able to have these discussions and clear communication of things, even if it makes other people uncomfortable. So being able to address yourself and analyze yourself at your strengths and your weaknesses, even if it makes you uncomfortable, is an important thing, and it's valuable in your character. For some last notes, one more thing I want to touch on is the importance of a logistical backing for the Minutemen in the field. If you guys don't have logistical backing and aren't working as a community, then it's not really going to work to be even a militia member or specifically a Minuteman, because Minutemen need a large group of logistical backing to help support them on the end as a support role. If you don't have members that are dedicated as support roles, providing logistical backing on the back end for Minutemen that are in the field currently to help them stay in the fight, then you guys kind of are missing the whole purpose of building community, building strong group sets, and creating a whole community that could operate cohesively as a unit and help provide people such as Minutemen the ability to stay in the field and operate for extended periods of time. You're not going to be able to do this on your own. You're not going to lone wolf being a Minuteman or be 3 men on the woods by yourself just getting things done like you're just some badasses. Like, you guys are going to actually need some logistical backing. The Navy SEALs, they have the Navy backing them. They have other branches of the military backing them if they need support, right? So they're not just doing this on their own with no backup support. They would never do these direct action raids if they didn't have the backup logistical support of the military industrial complex, right? So we're not going to have that backup. We're not going to have the support of a whole army, quite literally, but we could create our own mini factions that support each other within a local area or community, and that way we could actually act as a bigger fighting force that has more capabilities if we're organized enough. You guys just have to war game this in your head and actually think about these scenarios. But like I'm saying, make sure you figure out the logistics before you try anything involving Minutemen tactics, operations, or anything. Work out the logistics and figure out the people who are going to be your supply and support team. Let me know how you feel of my breakdown of who the modern day Minuteman is, who they were when they originated from the American Revolutionary War, and your opinion as a whole on the topic of Minutemen and what it takes to be a modern day Minuteman. I hope you guys went on to enjoy today's video. I'll have more videos like this coming out later on today or later this week, deep diving into some more prepper topics and things alike. Also, if you guys made it this far, you're looking for any prepper gear, tactical gear, backpacking gear, or any survival stuff, anything within that realm, I got a link to my Amazon store in the description of all my videos, where you guys could check out the link in the bio of my YouTube channel. You will find all these products on my Amazon store that are vetted and tested by me or somebody else in my group that has given me confidence in the product, and I've seen it work with them. So I would highly advise you guys check it out if you want to help support the page and help me bring more quality videos to you guys, it would be really appreciated. But that's basically it for today. I'll have more videos coming out like this later on, and this is FP out.